Hello and welcome to your September mid-month check-in. So, came to you with our September plan with me. Now we are coming together because I'm going to go over my September vision board that we created and just kind of do a little bit of like a gut check and see where am I on the goals that I set for the month of September? Have I actually made progress towards some of these things? Are there things that I haven't even thought about? And if so, it's time to start thinking about those, or maybe even question, is this realistic for me to actually achieve by the end of September? So on and so forth. So that is the plan. We're gonna go through this. We're literally gonna go through step by step every single goal that I have on my vision board because I want to literally share that process with you. So often I hear from people and they have questions about planning and they have questions about vision boards and goal setting and all of those things. And for me, this comes so naturally. So I don't really think much about it. But I know through lots and lots of conversations that this doesn't come naturally to others, hence why I feel like it's a good topic to share. So kind of my plan, just like I plan to do a monthly plan with me at the start of each month, I also think that I am going to do a mid-month check-in just to see where I am on my goals. And it's less about me and my goals and more about sharing with you how when you set a goal, how to come in and give yourself a gut check, not to tear yourself down if you haven't made any progress towards that goal, but instead to genuinely think through, did I set a goal that was unrealistic, or have I just not set aside the time? Have I not made this a priority? What can I change so that I can in fact make this a priority and make this something that I want to achieve and that I'm going to achieve by the end of the month, which was my original plan. So that's what we're gonna do. If that is something that you would like to see more of, let's get into it and keep watching. So the first one that we would do is the goal that I have for weekly date nights and then our anniversary trip. So we have done pretty well. It's been about 2 weeks, but so one of the weeks we did go on a date and then the other week we ordered in and just had like a movie night and did some takeout. As far as our anniversary trip, that is happening at the end of September. So I can't actually check that off yet, but everything is a go for that. We have our tickets, we have our hotel room, we are going to Key West, and I'm super, super excited for that. It's an anniversary trip / we're going for a friend's wedding, so really excited to do that. Next one over are my personal development books to read and or listen to. The goal is 10 pages a day. My goal when doing those 10 pages is during my read and ride. So every day when I get done with my workout, I hop on the bike, loosen out my legs, I just do a scenic ride. I keep the resistance pretty light and I just read while I am riding the bike, hence read and ride. And so I am currently reading this book, Think and Grow Rich by Napoleon Hill. That has been my current read while riding, but I'll be completely honest, we are midway through September and this is the only book that I'm physically reading right now, and I'm on page 33. If you did the math, 10 pages a day for 15 days so far in the month, I should have at least 150 pages read, and I'm on page 33. So again, as I mentioned at the start of this video, this mid-September check-in is a gut check for me, not to tear myself down, but to be like, all right, girlfriend, you're not getting your reading done. Now I will say I do give myself some grace on the weekends as far as reading 10 pages of personal development, but the thought is that I will make that up throughout the week because a lot of times I don't stop at 10 pages, especially when I'm riding my bike. I'll end up reading 15 to 20 pages, obviously just not this month. So that's something that needs to change because if I realistically want to get through this book and the How Are You Really by Jenna Kutcher, which is the next book that I want to physically read. I've heard that that's a phenomenal book. And then the High Performance Habits is one that I'm listening to on Audible. I'll be honest though, I haven't listened to it much this month. It says that I still have 7 hours and 21 minutes left. So I have not listened much to that and I don't even know if I've listened to it once in September. So that tells me I need to, when I'm going on walks, when I'm driving in my car to go, like today I went grocery shopping and I did not listen to this one time, but that would have been a really great use of my time would be to listen to this because that is a goal that I have of mine. So again, gut check is coming in as I'm looking over my September vision board in my mid-month check-in. And what a great opportunity for that, because I would hate to get to the end of the month and then look back and be like, oh man, I didn't achieve any of those. If I would have just had like a mid-month check-in, maybe I could have figured that out, or maybe I could have altered what I was doing so that I could actually achieve these goals. So I love getting to do this and sit down and look through this, because right now I'm like, okay, I need to make sure I'm doing my read and ride every day. And when I say read and ride, I mean read and ride, not phone and ride, not text and ride, not Instagram and ride, but read and ride, and make sure I'm getting those 10 pages in. For a while on my Instagram, I was taking a picture of like the page number that I started on, and then I was just taking a picture of the page number that I finished on, just for an extra level of accountability, and maybe I need to go back to that. So that's where we are on my personal development. So 1, need to make sure I'm doing my actual read and ride. 2, need to make sure that I'm listening to this audiobook when I'm in the car instead of the radio or whatever. Okay, next one over is my church, my personal goal with church. So I did finish a 21-day daily devotional. Did it 21 days in a row. I did it all on the app on my phone. It's the Holy Bible app, the YouVersion app. It's a brown little Bible, picture of a Bible. Such an incredible app. There are so many different devotional plans on there. So if you're someone like looking for that, so much. They have week long, they have 21 days, they've got much longer than that. So I did finish a 21-day devotional, and I did it every single day. I actually started it in August, finished it up on Sunday actually. So got that done. Attending church in person. So last weekend I was out of town, so I was unable to attend in person, but I did watch Sunday morning, like at 8:30. So I go to the 8:30 service when I go in person, and I sat down and I watched live at 8:30. So even though I wasn't in person, I did still tune in. And then actually this past Sunday, I decided to stay home. I tuned in, and I tuned in live at the 8:30 service like I would have. So not necessarily meeting that goal, but I am tuning into church. I'm getting so much out of it. I'm taking notes like I would when I go to church. Yes, I'm the person that takes notes at church because I love it, and I want to make sure that everything that I'm hearing really sticks. And then the other part of that goal is attend a life group. So I have reached out and I have checked in with a life group that meets every other Saturday. But again, I was out of town last weekend, so that was the Saturday they were meeting. I was out of town, and I'm actually going to be out of town again the next time that they meet. So it may be a little bit before I end up meeting with them, but it's a local group of women, and it's something that I am excited to get started with. And I at least have taken the action necessary to be a part of a group, even though I haven't actually attended one. So I do feel better about that. All right, so the next one over would be the workout program that I'm currently doing. And then I am working to fit back into the dress that you see in the graphic. That is a dress that I wore when I graduated with my undergrad, and I can almost zip it. I can't quite zip it, but I can almost zip it. So my goal by the end of this program, which I actually won't finish till the middle of October, but by the end of this program, my goal is to be able to zip that dress up. I have been logging my daily nutrition, and then I'm working towards the goals of my weight goal, getting more tight and toned, and like I mentioned, to fit in this dress. I'm loving that workout program. It is incredible. So the next one is this create the like to know it page and the links. So I share Amazon and Walmart finds all the time on my Instagram. Basically, I've figured out I should probably be putting all of this in a better place than just like a highlight on my Instagram. Insert like to know it. I've been told by multiple people you should get a like to know it. That would be really helpful. So a goal of mine, I have done nothing with this at this point other than created an account. So I have made some progress, but all I've done so far is created an account and been accepted on like to know it, but I have done nothing past that. So that is something that I do need to work towards. This first part of September, as we'll get to here in a second, has been heavily focused on YouTube videos, getting those recorded, getting those edited, getting those scheduled, because I'm gonna be out of town for a lot of the second half of the month. So while I'm out of town, I will have a better opportunity to work on something like this like to know it account, because I won't need to be editing videos or be sitting right here. Like I could do that on my laptop away from home a lot easier than I could edit and or recording videos like I'm doing right now. Next one down would be the Labor Day girls trip. I put that on there as like a goal, but I mean, it was a goal, but it was a pretty easy goal to achieve. So we've already done that. So that goal is completely checked off. It was a great weekend and very, very enjoyable. Okay, so reading fiction and eating lunch away from my desk. I've been reading fiction a lot better. I am currently reading a book that's almost 800 pages. It is intense. Like the book is huge, but I'm loving reading it. I've been sitting outside reading. So I have been reading fiction. I don't always read fiction with my lunch, but I have been eating lunch away from my desk, which has also been a huge accomplishment. today, for example, I needed to come in here and record this video. I needed to get some other work done. I need to be editing some videos. I went grocery shopping this morning. I meal prepped, all the things. And the last thing I was like, I need to just go eat lunch and get started on work. But I was like, no, this is a goal of mine, is to eat lunch away. So I put on Gilmore Girls. I watched about 30 minutes of Gilmore Girls while I ate my lunch, drank my water. And it was so good because I had a super busy morning. I'm having a busy afternoon. It was a nice little break before I dive back into anything, and I'm really proud of myself for doing that. So I've done really, really well with that goal. The next one was our community event. So I have a goal to have a monthly community event within my job, so my coaching team. And we actually hosted a surprise virtual baby shower for one of the coaches on our team. We did that last Tuesday. It was a major success, so much fun. She was surprised. It was so good. And even though that wasn't an in-person community event, it was definitely a community event. I think we had like 16 to 18 women on Zoom that were there as a part of the surprise, and it was super neat. So that one is definitely checked off, and that was a great one. So the next one over is my Teachers Pay Teachers goal. And I'll be honest, I have done zilch. Nada. I have done nothing with this goal so far, which is pretty frustrating. However, I'm giving myself some grace because the next goal over is my YouTube goal, and that has been taking up a ton of my time. So I will be the first to admit, I very much underestimated how long it would take to record videos, edit videos, get videos posted, all of that. I also found out, being out in the middle of nowhere, I don't have the best internet, and it takes really good internet to upload videos. So that's been another thing that I've had to consider that I didn't even think about. But all of this is part of a learning curve. When you start something new, things like this happen, you learn, you figure this out. So the reason my Teachers Pay Teachers has kind of taken a back burner for the time being is because all of my attention has been going towards the YouTube. However, I do believe I will be able to catch up with the Teachers Pay Teachers. And again, similar to the Like to Know It situation, I can work on Teachers Pay Teachers away from home, on my laptop, while traveling, all of that if I wanted to. A lot easier than sitting down and recording a video. Like, I'm not gonna sit in the middle of the airport and record a YouTube video, right? But I can sit in the middle of the airport and pull out my laptop and be working on a Teachers Pay Teachers product, or be working on my Like to Know It account. Like, those are things that I can push off, realistically knowing I will have a better opportunity to work on them later. And right now, my focus needs to be on the YouTube if that's something I'm serious about, which it is. I put it here on my goals. And so this needs to take precedence for now. Get this done, get these things taken care of so that later I can transition that focus into these other goals that can be focused on more appropriately at that time. So as far as the YouTube goal goes, I have recorded I think I've recorded 7 or 8 videos at this point, and we're only into mid-September, but they are the videos for this month. And that means 2 a week. If I want to do 8 videos for the entire month, 2 per week, then I need to be recording quite a few. So I think I've recorded almost all of the videos. This might be the last one that I needed to record because I wanted to wait till obviously real time to record this in the middle of September in order for it to actually be appropriate and any of this to make sense. So I have done really, really well with that goal, and I feel really proud of that. Like I said, it's been a major learning curve of sitting down and how long it takes to edit a video, and how, like, just the time that it takes to record a video, and, you know, the behind the scenes stuff and all of that just takes a lot more time than you think. Okay, so the final goal of my September 2022 vision board is this 12-week year plan. So I've done a video on the 12-week year plan. I shared with you some of the things, how I go about it, my takeaways from the book called The 12-Week Year. And the goal for September was to begin my 12-week year plan. So as of September 5th, I started it, which was last week. When I'm recording this, it was last week. So September 5th was day 1 of this 12-week year plan, and it will go through the weekend following Thanksgiving. We have made it through week 1, and this morning actually we had our first weekly accountability meeting with the other women who have chosen to complete a 12-week year plan and to follow that, just like I'm doing. So that also gets a check mark. So in all actuality, when I look at my vision board for the month so far, my personal development has slacked some. My Like to Know It and my Teachers Pay Teachers have been non-existent. But otherwise, everything has either been check, it's done, it's already been completed, or I am working hard on the goal that I have set and I'm doing what it takes. I'm taking the action steps consistently to get there. So I feel really, really good about this. I wasn't sure when I was sitting down, I was like, man, am I gonna have to come on here and like admit that I'm really not doing well? And technically, you could look at the like to know it and the teachers pay teachers, those two goals, and the fact that I've done literally nothing with them and be like, yikes. But I still have half a month left. And I have done a ton. A lot of my attention has been spent, a lot of my extra time and attention has been spent on YouTube this first half of the month, whereas the second half of the month, the YouTube part's gonna be done and taken care of, and I'm gonna have that time is gonna be opened up so that I can be focusing on these other things. So I feel really good about everything that I've achieved so far in September, and I feel really good, and I feel like it's realistic that if I can get back to doing my PD consistently, listening in the audiobook whenever I'm driving, or going on a walk or whatever that might be, dishes, cleaning the house, I can be listening to that audiobook as well. If I can commit to that, I really think I've got a great shot at achieving all of these goals by the end of September, which is a really, really cool feeling. It's absolutely great to make a yearly vision board. January comes, you make your vision board, you're so excited, you set these goals, you hang it up, and then you don't really look at it again. Hopefully you do, but a lot of times people don't look at them again. The reason that I have now found a genuine passion and love for a monthly vision board is the fact that it takes those yearly goals, it breaks them down into smaller bite-sized chunks that I can do over the course of 30-ish days. I can be seeing success so much quicker. Like, I don't have to wait 12 months to know if I achieved that goal and to feel really proud of myself. I can do it. I mean, here we are midway through the month. I only had to wait 15 days to look and think, heck yeah, I've already achieved some of those goals. Like, that's an immediate confidence boost, and that's the way that I like to live my life. Like, I like little goals that I can accomplish and I can achieve and I can see success with. I am also somebody who, I like constructive criticism. I like a good gut check. I like to be put in my place as long as it's done with respect. I like those things because that is how I have grown. That is how I have achieved, whether it was in sports, whether it was in school, whether it was in clubs, no matter what it was in. If I could have someone who could teach me through things and help me understand and explain what I was doing wrong, why it was wrong, what I could do better, how I could do better, that is how I learned and I grew and I became better at things. I became more efficient at things. And so getting to do this has been so helpful for me in that exact way. And it's a great way for me to literally tell myself, great job. And then the final thing that I wanna point out with this, what we focus on is what will grow. That is what will change. When we focus on our health tends to get better. When we focus on our mindset tends to get better. When we focus on whatever it is we're doing at work, if we put extra focus on it, it tends to work out a little bit better. When I was in college, when I would really put a lot of focus on a project or studying or whatever, I tended to understand it more. I'd get a better grade. I would do better overall. You know what I mean? So what we focus on does better. So now I'm curious, do you do any sort of monthly planning, or are you just a yearly vision board type of person, or are you someone who doesn't do any of those things? No matter where you are on your journey, you have the ability, the capability to set goals, to think about them, to focus on them, to work towards them, to check in with yourself, give yourself that gut check if you need to, make sure that your goals are even realistic in the first place, and then work towards actually achieving them. You have that power 100%. So that is all I've got for you today. That is our mid-September check-in on our goals. I hope getting to literally see me work through those and be vulnerable and sharing what those are. I mean, I have nothing to hide with those, but being willing to admit I made zero progress on some of these things, and others I've checked them off, they're already done with. I hope seeing that makes you feel like, okay, if she can do those things and she can share these things, I can do this too. Because your goals can be anything. They don't have to be anything like my goals. But I do recommend having some personal goals, having some work goals, and then having, I think health is really important. So I think having some sort of a health goal would also be something worth your time and worth your while. But your goals can be anything. You can just have one thing on your vision board, and you can start out small and be like, you know what, I'm just gonna start out by working on this. I've never been a goal person, but if I could start out small and just work on one or two things, these are what I'm gonna work on first. And then past that, then you can start adding more if you'd like to. obviously, I mean, you look at my vision board, I've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. I have 11 goals on here. But a lot of them go hand in hand. A lot of them are things that were going to happen anyways, like my Labor Day weekend with my mom, sister, and niece. Obviously, I was going to do that no matter what, so I didn't necessarily have to have that on my vision board. However, it relates with one of my yearly goals, which is to spend more time with family and to do more things, do more traveling, but also to spend more time with family making more memories. So ultimately, it is appropriate to be on my monthly vision board because it does address and help me achieve a bigger yearly vision, a bigger yearly goal, but it doesn't have to be on there. So don't overcomplicate it, don't overthink it. That is all I have for you. I hope that you enjoyed this video. I hope it was helpful. I hope it has inspired you to maybe do some planning of your own and to maybe give yourself a gut check on where you are with your goals so far this month and maybe where you want to go, because there's still plenty of time left. There's plenty of month left for you to achieve whatever it is that you want to. You just have to make that commitment, be consistent with it, and go after it. Promise you that you will get there. So thank you for being here. If you like this, make sure to give it a thumbs up. If you haven't subscribed, please do so. And until then, I will be seeing you in the next video. See ya.